Hi, this is the next video in my series of deconstructing what we're looking at in the practice, taking away the general overview that it looks like it's a dancey class, and see what's really going on, what's being connected, what are the instructions, and how we're finding that fluid quality through a support mechanism, through a structure that has power and depth, and more importantly, awareness, so that we can find freedom in the spine, we can find range of motion. So we're focusing on the waving quality today, and that's either waving with the spine or finding a range of motion with the arms and looking at how we need to establish the stability in order to get that freedom. So first thing I'm going to do is a standing wave, and I'm going to come onto the mat and just a classic horse stance or dancer or Balinese dancer. It gets called many different things. But from here, there's I see a lot of this, out there. Oh yes, and just have a nice time swaying back and forth. And in fact, I'm never teaching just sway back and forth. The first thing we're going to look at is the feet. So if you watched the last video or the lunging video talking about the feet, you already know how much importance there is there. So I'm looking at the feet first and foremost and thinking about the sense of them slightly pushing away from each other, recognizing the outer edge of the foot connection so that I automatically support through the knees. So if I start shifting weight without being aware of the connection of my feet, I'll lose the stability for my knees. So this is where the whole movement begins. And it isn't a swaying from back and forth, it's a shifting of weight. So I'm going to start without any arm action whatsoever, and I'm looking at shifting of weight between right foot and left foot. And already what I feel is the integration of the quadriceps and through the adductors, through the hamstrings, the backs of the thighs. If you notice my feet, there's a slight lift each side, and that the hips themselves don't move from side to side that much. It's just one leg takes over a little bit more, and then the other leg takes over a little bit more. And so now I can add a waving action to that, and we'll start with just a Garudasana. And so if I want to circle my Garudasana, I need that stability between the feet and the thighs working, keeping the pelvis the main stabilizer in order for the spine to find the freedom. And so I can also take this into reaching up, straightening through the legs, hands through prayer, push away. Again, that action of pushing away just as strong through the hands as it is through the feet. And so this can help me get that control here to find freedom here. What I'm not doing is shifting weight and taking this all over the place. That's nice, but I've already done stuff like that for my warm-up. Coming to the floor, looking at something like a spinal wave or a circular action in the arm. So if I'm taking a wave through the spine, this, again, it's not just fold forward, roll up, fold forward, roll up. It's the same as the cat and cow action. I've already integrated how to activate through the front and the back of the spine. So here, I'm just taking that and allowing there to be a little bit more sense of articulation through the spine. So as I fold forward, I engage through the back muscles to lower the belly towards the thighs. As I roll up, the front of the body engages so that the back of the body can follow that action with a sense of space. The minute I get to the top, then it changes responsibility. The responsibility now is the back of the body engages, the front of the body releases, and I roll forward. So there's a lot going on here. We could say this is a variation of some universal core work. If I'm adding in a waving action with the arm, with the shoulder, again, it's not about just making big fancy circles, okay? That's nice, I've done that sort of free-form work already in the very beginning of a class. That's my warm-up if you've never worked with me before. Just getting everything moving. But here, first of all, I'm going to take the awareness to the shoulder joint and just make smaller circles in the shoulder joint. And so then as I integrate that sensation, remember, I'm always going back to what are we experiencing, what are we feeling? Then I start to feel the shoulder blade can move around on the back. And when the shoulder blade moves, the collarbone has to move. They work in unison with each other so that we don't get locked in the shoulders. And then I can feel the connections from that movement down into the side of the ribs, the front of the ribs, through the obliques, through the intercostals, through the serratus, through the back. And so as I make bigger circles, I'm focused on what is connecting all the way down into the waist and into the pelvis, depending on what shape my legs are in. So once again, there's a lot of different support mechanisms going on there, as well as a lot of release going on at the same time. So explore those now. So you're taking a structure, adding some kind of waving or range of motion action on, and just dive into where the support is first in order to find the waving action. Okay, hope that helps.